What's up, guys? Welcome to 12M Hustle. Today's video is going to be on how to trade the opening range breakout, ORB. I'm going to show you guys three time frames. They're going to be the 30 seconds, the 5-minute, and the 15 minutes. Let's get into it. So first of all, you guys can check out is I actually have an indicator for you guys can use on TradingView, and it's actually free. So if you go over and get this indicator right over here, you guys can message me or put comments at the bottom of the video and I'll send you the link. It's going to be opening range breakout by this individual, the catalyst. Okay, and in inputs you can put different times that you want. I use the 30-second, the 5-minute, or the 15. I trade off the 30-second opening range. You can use that, the 5 minutes, or the 15. I'm going to go over all three of them. So first we'll go over the 30-second range. So this was today's trade earlier in the day. As you guys can tell, it already draws the lines for you, and basically what you're looking for is confirmation. So what you'll do is, as you can tell here, you'll wait for the levels to pop out on a 30-second, and let's say your opening was here, you would take a long, initiate it off this. I have a 1-minute chart. You would take a long, and then you would basically have your stop at this level here. So you would get stopped out, scratch, take another long when it popped over, take the profit, and then be done. You would only go short until you reach this level down here. So I'll show you guys how that would be. Okay, so if you were going to do, let's say off the open, the 30-second range, right off here. So here it is. Here's this 30-second. You would say, I'm going to buy this, right? I'm going to set my stop. You could either set your stop at this level or at the lower level. It's totally up to you how you want to do your discretion, how you would like to do that. So you could set your stop here, and let's say your target is going to be this upper level here, right? Oh, let's try that again. Actually, wait. There we go. So you're going to take that buy. As soon as you go to this lower level here, you're going to basically stop out. So you'll play, let it go, still not stopping you out. Gets close to the level, and let's see, that would stop you out. Let's say you didn't take profits there, you would stop out, right? That would be your first trade. You would wait for a pop above to get long again. Again, you would wait for a down to the next level. Oh, there's your pop there to the level you wanted. You'd flatten out, you're back to green, 610, right? So that's how it basically works on a 30-second. It is much more choppy on a 30-second, so your win rate is not going to be as good. As you guys can tell, it's 40% win rate, but you still come out top. So if you don't like that win rate, you can switch over to a 5-minute. And here is a 5-minute. I'll set that up. And on this indicator, you can actually set the times you want. So here's a 5-minute. You go over to the indicator. Like I said, indicator's free. I didn't make it, but a friend of mine did, and he just shares it. So shout out to him. It is free on TradingView. Again, it is free, so you don't have to pay for it. And here's a 5-minute. Okay, so much different. It's going to be the same concept, and there you go. So as you can tell, the levels are a little different on this, right? You would only take a long once you initiated out of that 5-minute, once the bar actually breaks out. So as you guys can tell, the higher the time frame on the opening range, the less noise you're going to get, right? So you're only, right, you're going to take that off, flatten that. You're only going to actually go long once it actually pushes and breaks above. So that pushes, you would technically go long. You're going to probably get stopped out on this trade, right? You would go long, and then you're waiting for the next level, and here you would get stopped out, right? This is the actual opening range. This is how it works. And then you wouldn't go short until you hit that lower level, which is down here, right? Till the bar actually closes below it, then you go short. That's how you get your confirmation. So you wait for that. There's your short. So now you're here, you're like, okay, I'm going to go short here. and I'm gonna, you're short, I'm gonna have my stop at the top of that candle, right? I'm gonna have my stop right there, and I'm gonna shoot for a target down here, right? That's what you're shooting for. So let's see how that works out. Boom, hits the target. Boom, boom. You had your stop there. You get profit and you win. So that's how that works on a 5-minute, right? These are the most three common, and this ends up being a 60% win rate. These are the most common opening range time frames that people have. Okay. Next one is the 15, right? 15 is going to be right here, and that's 15 minutes after the bell opens, right? But on the indicator, you can actually change that. So here's 15. Gonna submit it. Boom. Okay, here's a 15-minute opening range. Same thing. You actually don't get a full close to here, so you won't go long until that bar. So here's your 15, right? There's your opening range on a 15. The indicator draws it for you. Above this, you would go long. So technically, yes, you would go long. And if you want to keep it short, you want to keep your entry short or tight, you could just be like, all right, I'm only risking 155, right? And then you go play. Okay, you get taken out, right? You get taken out. Same thing. You would wait till on a 15-minute range, 15-minute range bar, you close, boom, you close that next 15-minute bar. You would then say, you know what, I'm gonna risk 3 minis or whatever you're trading, whatever size it is. Concept is the same, the size is relevant, and you're gonna risk the top of that bar, and you're gonna target your next level, right? Your target's gonna be here, or let's say your target's gonna be midway, right? So you let that play out. Boom, you hit it, 4,600. You made money. You made your loss back, and that is basically the opening range. So right now, remember, opening ranges tend to be trend following strategies, so they work great on like this today, where we just continued one way. They don't work so great when we're in a chop zone. Another thing about it is, I also have this. So this is basically a little diagram. I can send to anybody if you want it. And I also have steps to trade in the orb. You identify the opening range. You wait for the breakout in either direction. You enter the trade on the breakout. You place a stop loss order below the range low. And then you set a target above the range high. And that's it. 1 through 5. So this is the simplest trading strategy out there. It's opening range. There's 3 main time frames that most traders use: 30-second, 5-minute, and 15 minutes. Now, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Hope this video described how this simple strategy works. If you guys want to have any questions, want me to send out, I can send out copies of this strategy here, forms, or I can send you the link to this indicator, whatever. Just put it down in the comments. I'll go ahead and send you a message, or I'll go ahead and copy and paste the link to my actual chart setup as well on there. So thank you for following along. Thank you for coming to 12M Hustle. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Hope this video helped you out. Peace.